This is a tutorial on Google Classroom, and in this video we will show you how to add announcements, assignments, questions, and topics. So we're going to show you how to post several different things in Google Classroom. And this would be posted to your stream, and your students would get an update in their email inbox. So you go down to the plus button and you choose whatever it is you want. You can create an announcement, an assignment, ask a question, or you can reuse an old post. So in this case, let's go with an announcement. If you want, you can choose all students are going to receive it, or if you had a long list of students here, you could just check the individual students you want to get the information. Let's say, for example, it's an announcement that, hey, your assignment is late, and you only want the 4 students with a late assignment to get the message. You can do it that way instead of emailing them. Or, if you want, you can also send an announcement to multiple classes. Let's say you have 2 sections of the same class. And of course, you're going to put your message here, and you might choose the topic. Let's say we're on to our second unit, so we're on topic 2 or unit 2 or whatever it might be, the French Revolution, for example. You might want to add a website link. It might be a YouTube video or channel or playlist. It might be a Drive document, or it could be a file in PDF, docx, or whatever it might be. It could be a video file. So for example, I would click on my Drive icon, and then I would choose whatever document it is, click post, and there you have it. All the students are going to get it. Let's say, oops, I made a mistake. I can go back, click my 3 little dots, and edit. I can delete it, or if I want, I can copy the link and send it off to somebody else. So the next kind of post that I'll show you would be create a question. So you would go down to the plus button, create your question, choose whether you want both classes or multiple classes to work on this because you want them to interact a little bit, or just specific students. You can ask your question, and then if there are instructions to add, you would put the instructions there. You can choose a due date. Let's say I want you to answer this question by tomorrow. Then I can choose even the time. And if it's linked to a topic, I can choose the topic. If I want a multiple choice question, I can do that. Now the short answer would be like an open-ended question. Multiple choice might be where I have to type in the different options. This would be good for a little bit of a review. You could have students able to see the class summary if you want. You can have students edit their answer if you choose. If you want students to reply to each other, that's okay. So those are a few little things that you can do. So I'll click Ask, and students will get a notification. And you can see here that I'm going to see how many people have done it and how many have not done it. On the right side, you'll see the number of students that are actually registered in your class. So if this class had 20 students, it's going to say 20 are not done. And then as they get completed, you're going to see this number change, and the two numbers together will equal the number of students in your class. So now the students are going to see that in their Updates tab that they have these updates of what has been posted within the class. So, for example, we have a new announcement, and then they can click Open, and then they're going to see the message as it is sent to them. They will see that notification, and then they have to type the answer. They click Submit. They can see that it's done. If they want, they can edit their answer, or if they want to give me a private comment because they're not really sure, they can do that as well. And I will get a notification of that in my inbox. Now, one of the other features is adding an assignment. And I'm going to show you how I do this in my class to what I feel is maximum efficiency. Now, again, it could be 1 class or 2 classes. Maybe it's a makeup assignment, so you only want a few students to do it. Okay, so what I do is I choose, is this for 1 class or multiple classes? I have my title, I have my instructions. Usually I have my students follow the instructions on a Google Drive doc. But I also make it public on the web so that parents can see it, or anybody with the link, and I put a short URL there. That way the parents will see the post and be able to access the instruction sheet. I've chosen the topic. I've given the due date, but of course I do have to add the doc for the students to access. Now, this first doc is a view-only file because it's the assessment description. So what I also do is add the rubric. So for the rubric, what I choose is, and I click here, and I make a copy for each student. I don't want the students to edit the file. I do that when they're collaborating on something in class. But this is an assignment that each individual does, so I'm going to make a copy for every student, and I'm going to click Assign. Now what that does for me is, in Google Classroom, in the folder, I can instruct students to actually paste a link. If it's a video, I can get them to paste a link at the top. Here, for example, if I want them to do an assignment, they can paste their assignment and their works cited right there. And then what I can do is comment on the rubric, and then they can do the reflection later, and it's all private between me and the student. Now, if I want, I can assess a certain point value, or I can make it ungraded. So you can see here now, it is automatically ungraded, and right here where it had a point value is gone. But let's say I do want it to be graded. Let's say it's on an 8-point rubric with 4 criteria, so it's going to be at a 32, let's say, points, at least on a rubric. Let's say the student had a 30. I put that in. It's 30 out of 32. It's not returned yet because maybe I want to give it back to the student after I've done the assessment for every student in the class. Let's say I wanted to email the student and say, hey, you're missing something in this assignment. I would go up to the email thing and I would click and then type my message, and that individual student only is going to get that message. When I'm ready to return it, now in this case all students equals 1, so I'm just going to check the students that I want to return the assignment to. This is after I've given my comments and things like that. And then I would click return, gives me a little notification. Are you sure you want to return it? Click return. I can give a private comment if I would like, and then I click return, and then one submission's returned, and that student will get a notification in their inbox. And you can see here, I've got a note. I've returned X number of assignments to students. I've got some that are not done, meaning they haven't submitted them, and I've got X number that are finished. Let's say at some point I want to change the instructions. I can go up to my little dots. I can choose Edit, and then that's going to allow me to edit the original post. So you can see here in my stream that I've got a bird's eye view of the assignments I've graded and returned, things that haven't been submitted, things that are done, but I have yet to assess. If I want, I can view all of the work that's been done by clicking View All, and this will give me a long stream from the beginning of the class right down to the most recent. So the most recent would be at the top. Now we have the new assignment posts, so then they can open that up. So what students would do, for example, in the document, they would paste their work here, whether it's an essay, maybe it's a mind map that they made in Google Drawing that they could turn into a PNG and paste right there. It could be a link to a video that they've made, whatever the assignment might be. Links or the actual text can go here, and all they have to do is click here, turn in, and the teacher will get a notification that they've done it. Are you sure you want to turn in your work? You click turn in. And they will see this. They've got their grade here. They can create anything that they want to add to it if they have other work to submit to go along with the assignment. And of course, they can add links, files, and Google Drive documents too. And then they can resubmit work. They can add a private comment if they have questions for the teacher. Now in this demo, I've already done the assessment, so you can see here that they have a grade, but they can see that their work has been submitted or resubmitted. They can click unsubmit and work on it again, should you ask them to do so. So click unsubmit, And they can do some work. Maybe they have to add more links or files. Maybe they have to add something from Drive. And then they can click resubmit. They turn in, and then I can go back and change the point value. Remember, at the moment, we're looking at the student view. So after students have resubmitted the work, I get an update in my email, and then I can say, hey, this student has just resubmitted some work. I can click open, and then I can go straight to the document. And if I need to change the work, give a new grade, return it again to the student, and then they will see, oh, I got that extra point. I'm really happy. One other post that you can do is reusing a post by going down to the plus button, choosing reuse post, and I select the class that I want to reuse the post from, and then I can just choose whichever it is. So for example, I would click this, and I would click reuse.